What up YouTube, J-Dub here, welcome to my channel. I'm going to do something a little different on a video today. This is going to be kind of just my thoughts put onto a video. As you can see, it's a little late. Basically what happened is me and my buddy Ryan, we did the Vulcan 900 mod videos, and we got some more videos of that coming up to you for you guys soon. But we we did an Indian demo day. Indian Motorcycle Demo Day down in Huntington, West Virginia. And I must say, if you've never done one of these demo days, you should absolutely try to do one. It's a lot of fun. You get a real feel for a bunch of different types of bikes and stuff, and I have to admit, I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Ryan thought it was a lot of fun, and it really gave us a good perspective, you know, on possibly our next bike purchase, not just a 15-minute test ride on something. So basically what happened is we did that, and Ryan rode the Chieftain Dark Horse with a few mods to it. Mid-rise handlebars, a taller windscreen. I think it had the Stage 2 on it with the cams and everything, but it was a nice bike. I rode the Indian Challenger, and we both loved these bikes. These bikes were fantastic, and it really got me thinking about the next bike I want to buy. Because to be fair, I mean, I sold my 900 a long time ago. Wasn't really riding it. Didn't have a lot of friends riding at the time and stuff. So it made sense to, you know, get rid of it. But I've got the itch again. And I'd really like to get back into riding. But these are expensive bikes. Like the next bike I wanted, I know I wanted a bagger. Definitely something with comfort attached to it that me and my wife could both, you know, ride longer term. Like, as much as I love the Vulcan 900 Classic that I had, my personal opinion, it's just not a very good long distance bike. It's fun for around town, and, you know, you're going out for a couple hours and you're good, but it, like, anything more than like 2-3 hours on that bike, and in my opinion, started taxing your body. So I knew I wanted to move up to a bigger bike. So, and my wife agreed. She wanted to be more comfortable, you know, something that wasn't going to destroy her back, you know, after a couple hours of riding. So we had initially thought about the Kawasaki Vaquero, which is the basically a 1700cc bagger that Kawasaki offers. And it was kind of like, yeah, that's probably what I'll wind up getting. But, you know, because of price and other things. So, didn't have much love for Indian, didn't know much about them, and we started looking at them, and I really liked the new Challenger. I just liked the way it looked. I sat on it. I liked how it felt. The layout was nice, you know, so I was like, okay. So we did the Indian demo day, and I truly did just, I loved the bike. It was a great, I rode it, I think, 4 times. I loved it so much, I did not want to stop riding it. Now, to be fair, I didn't do any footage of me riding. I regret not doing that, but I didn't have my handlebar mount for my phone or anything to film. So like I said, these are just my thoughts laid out. So basically last week, Ryan texted me, and I want to ride a street glide. And I'm like, okay, so go ride a street glide. You know, I want to preface this by saying I'm not anti-Harley. I've never been anti-Harley. There are some Harley fanboys out there that I could deal without, but the actual bikes themselves, they're beautiful bikes, and, you know, nothing against them. So yeah, you know, not anti-Harley, just, you know, never really thought about a Harley because they're quite expensive. But then we started looking at these Indians and really started liking them, and we had to kind of start thinking, you know, okay, to be fair, if, you know, these bikes are pretty similarly priced, we should give Harley a fair shake. I mean, that's how anybody would do something objectively. So we went down to a dealer in Sunbury, Ohio, 80 Faro, and if I gotta say anything else, their customer service is fantastic. They were very nice, very welcoming. To be fair, when I guess they figure they might sell a couple of $30,000 motorcycles, they're probably nice, but They were super great though. We walked in, we got welcomed pretty quickly, and we laid it on the line. We're like, look, we went on an Indian demo ride, and we love those bikes, but we need to give Harley a fair shake to make sure we're not leaving anything on the table, you know, because I don't want to make a $30,000 purchase and get really mad at myself because, well, I should have waited and rode this before I bought that. You know, I don't want to be that guy. And the guy's like, no, I think that's great. That's exactly what you should do. You should be, you should ride everything. You should find exactly what you want. So he's like, I think the best way to do this is let's just get you guys on a couple of bikes. Just like that. No hassle, no whatever. Just, he pulled out a brand new 2021 Harley Road Glide for me, special. Beautiful bike. Red with black, and everything was blacked out on it. Truly just a beautiful bike. They just got a brand new 2021. They had just got it prepped, actually. It came off the truck a couple of days earlier. They just got it prepped, but they got Ryan a new 2021 Street Glide. Like I said, beautiful bikes. So we're sitting there, and we get our helmets on, and we basically were going to follow the salesman on the little test ride route that he had. And we went, and it was funny because, like, me and Ryan have our, Bluetooths in our helmets and stuff so we can talk to each other while we're riding. And it was kind of funny because Ryan's a tall guy. He's like 6'2 plus, and so he's a taller guy. He was not a huge fan of the Street Glide. Now, once again, I know I'm probably going to get roasted in the comments from Harley guys. I understand that there are probably a multitude of options you can use to make the forward controls further out, change the bars for extended reach, put a tall boy seat on it, and it would probably be quite a bit more comfortable. But at the same time, Ryan and I both kind of agreed, like, yeah, but I'm spending $30,000 on a motorcycle. And if I've got to spend an additional, like, $2-3 grand on a bike just to make it to ride comfortable after I just spent 30, like, that's a problem for me. And Ryan agreed, and that's how I feel. Like, I'm not saying customizing bikes is a bad thing. It's a lot of fun. That's half the fun of having a bike, is making it your own. But when I'm dropping 30 grand on a bike, I need to be able to ride it home comfortably before I drop all this other money on getting other stuff in to make it even rideable. So I'm going to focus on what my experience was with the Road Glide. It wasn't the most uncomfortable bike I'd ever ridden. I'll go ahead and say, even though the Challenger was, it seemed quite a bit, definitely faster, the Harley lacked nothing for power. Like, nothing. No issues there. All the power I could ever want or need. And that was just wasn't even a thing. Like, plenty of power. I would be happy with the power that either the Harley and or the Indian Challenger gave me. They were both pretty respectable powerful bikes. Like, especially coming from what I'm used to for a big bagger like that, pretty impressive with the power. So the Harley lacked nothing for power. However, there were just a lot of little things I didn't like about it, and I'm gonna put this on for both Indian and Harley. They really, I need a heel toe shifter. I'm sorry, I like having a heel shifter. The last bike I owned was a heel shifter. I loved it. I hate, clicking up with my foot. I'd much rather heel shift. And the fact that neither one of these $30,000 bikes come with that, sucks. Like, I mean, I know it's probably only like a $150 part to do it, but still, it's a $30,000 bike. Why isn't that already on there? Just my opinion. But, and I guess Harley just stopped doing it like a year ago or something. They used to put the heel toe on there, but now it's, you got to make it an add-on. So, as far as the aesthetics of the bike, I slightly prefer the Indian over the Harley. I'm not crazy about the Road Glide's dual headlight look in the front. I've never been a fan of that look on the Road Glide. I much prefer the Indian's styling. for the headlights. Another minor thing that I think is kind of weird, you don't get LEDs on the Harley. Like, they're still, like, all the turn signals and everything, the brake lights and all that, they're still incandescent bulbs. That's probably a minor thing, but it's still something that I'm getting LEDs on the Indian. I like LEDs. So, just my opinion. The LED lights on the Indian is stupid bright. And I like that. So that was kind of a thing. The biggest thing I had against the Harley, outside of I feel the seating position on the Indian was a little bit more comfortable. And once again, I understand there is a multitude of aftermarket parts. You can literally make a Harley whatever you want. There's just that much aftermarket support for it. Once again, sitting on them stock for stock, I much preferred the position of the Indian over the Road Glide. The Road Glide, I felt like I was sitting more on top of the bike, whereas the Indian, I felt like I was sitting more into the bike. I feel like the Indian had a lower center of gravity. And I could be wrong on stats here. I'm just saying what it felt like. The handlebars on the Harley, I didn't notice too much of a difference in the positioning of the handlebars. Like, they were both comfortable on both the Harley and the Indian. However, and I know this is a Harley thing, and it's probably one of those you could get used to anything, but I hate the fact that the left turn signal is just a button on the left control, and the right turn signal is literally a button on the right control with the throttle. I think that is just an absolute stupid idea and design. Once again, I know guys who ride Harleys are used to that because that's just what Harley does, but coming from every bike I've ever owned where there's just simply a toggle on the left and I don't have to mess with the throttle side, just personally, I don't get the left and the right buttons. That doesn't make sense to me. It would take a long time to get used to, actually, in my opinion. I noticed when I was riding it, I kept hitting the left turn signal when I was getting ready to turn a right just because I'm used to a toggle. And like I said, it's like anything. You can get used to it over time. It's just something that, I don't know, I just think that was dumb. Just a dumb thing. Harley had 2 more analog gauges on the fairing over the Indian, and I liked that. I did like that they included, I think it was fuel and temperature as analog gauges. I'm an old school kind of guy. I much prefer analog gauges over digital. I've always been like that. But the layout of the fairing, I was not a fan of the Harley layout. The speedometer and the tachometer are actually mounted like right there on top of the forks, and those actually move with the handlebars. And the infotainment center is actually up like right here on the fairing. It's up on the high end of the fairing, whereas on the Indian, the analog gauges for speed and tach are up high here, and the infotainment center is kind of like positioned lower. Not as low as the gauges on the, like, that was the thing. I kind of preferred the Indian's layout because I didn't have to, like, really look down to look at, like, my analog gauges. They're just kind of, like, right there. Whereas with the Harley, I found myself actually having to look more down at them. And I like the fact that I can access the infotainment on the Indian without having to stretch my arm out. Whereas with the Harley, I had to stretch my arm out to interact with the infotainment. Now, once again, you have toggle switches on the hand controls and everything else, and chances are that's eventually how you'll be. I'm just saying, a snap judgment, I guess you could say, I definitely did not like how far in I had to reach to access the infotainment center on the Harley. Mirrors were not bad on either bike. I would almost, it almost felt like the Indian's mirrors were a smidge bigger, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But I could see behind me relatively with ease on both bikes. So the other big thing, and I don't care who calls it gimmicky, they're out of their mind. The retractable windscreen on the Indian is just amazing. Um, that is probably one of the coolest features on a motorcycle I've ever seen. It's great, especially on a bagger, because like I said, when I'm in town, I want the windscreen down. I want the air in my face. I want it, I want that airflow. But when I get on the interstate, it is so nice to be able to have that thing come up and the wind goes right over my head, and I love that. I I would not be surprised if Harley introduces this in the next couple of years, because it seems to be a pretty popular feature. But I've seen a lot of Harley guys say, "Oh, that's gimmicky, that's stupid." I'm like, no, you're just pissed off because Harley didn't think of it. Because it is very functional, and it was a very nice option. And I don't want to say that sold the bike on me, but that is just a really, really, really nice option to have. The Harley, I got plenty of airflow on the bike. Actually, in certain circumstances, too much airflow. Once again, this is stock for stock. A taller windscreen would probably help with some of the buffering that I got on my helmet. But I mean, if you want a lot of airflow on that bike, I mean, it lacks nothing for airflow. It has plenty of it. But I don't know. You would have to in my opinion, you would have to put a much larger windscreen on it to get the air to go up over and not, be on you the whole time. One thing the Harley does come with that is not available on the Indian Dark Horse. It's available on the Indian Limited, but I would definitely be getting a Dark Horse, just my style. And that's the crash bars on the front. The Dark Horse Challenger does not come with those stock. They're available, but they don't come on there just because it's Dark Horse. They do on the Limited. The chrome crash bars come on the Limited, but the black ones don't come on the Dark Horse. Whereas with the Harley, with all the blacked out package and everything, it did have crash bars, which was kind of nice. So that was definitely a nice feature. Harley had a nicer rear brake pedal. The Challenger has just a peg, and I much prefer a fatter brake pedal. Once again, it's another one of those things. Aftermarket, not going to be a hard thing to change out, but Harley had that right from the get-go. They had a nice brake pedal. Speaking of the brakes, both bikes had awesome brakes. The Challengers was probably just a smidge better from what I could tell, but I had no issues braking either bike. The seat on the Harley, it wasn't an uncomfortable seat, but I feel that the Challenger seat was just a little bit more comfortable for me. The seat height on the Harley, I'd have to look at the stats. It felt like it was about an inch, maybe an inch and a half higher than that of the Indians. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it felt like. I could flat foot both the bikes, but I definitely feel like I had more bend in my knees on the Indian than I did the Harley. So that could simply just be the way how fat the seat is, not necessarily the seat height. But like I said, that was a thing. I definitely like the fact that the Indian has the electronic locking bags, whereas the Harley, you have to use a physical key to lock your bags. I think that's just a nice little feature that I can just use a key fob and bloop bloop and lock the bags. The Harley bags, the way they looked, honestly, I think this is an overall problem that Harley's going to have to confront. The bike looks, in my opinion, just a smidge dated. The overall design of it, I mean, it's a Harley, it's classic, it's iconic, but it looked just a smidge dated, whereas I think the Challenger looked just a little bit more modern. But I'll give Harley credit for one thing, though, and I can't deny this at all. The throttle response on the fly-by-wire from Harley, spot on. Perfect. No issues. The Indians take some time to get used to. I got it pretty figured out at this point. I've ridden the Challenger enough where I've got it pretty well figured out. But Harley, hands down, has the better throttle response. The clutch feel, probably slightly better on the Harley. Not bad on the Indian, just slightly better on the Harley. Both transmissions, beautiful. Just nice little clunks all the way through the gears. No issues there. I liked Indian's floorboards just a little bit better. They kind of got like a teardrip style floorboard, and I don't know. I just felt like I could do more with my feet on those than Harley's got these big ones. It's the same width throughout the whole floorboard. So, like I said, overall, I was kind of disappointed in the Harley. And I say that because me and Ryan really kind of thought, like, a Harley that's the pedestal, right? Like, that's what everybody of the cruiser aspires to eventually, is to get a Harley. And we were just super excited to take these bikes out finally. Like, we're going to ride some Harleys, dude. Like, I've only ridden one Harley. It was way back in the day. It was a terrible experience, but it was a terrible bike. These are brand new, fresh from the factory. And yeah, I was a little disappointed in the Harleys. I could totally see where some people would like that bike, but for the way I like to ride and the things I like when I'm riding, I think the Indian Challenger was a better fit for me. One other thing I definitely like over on the Indian over the Harley, the fact that it's liquid cooled. I don't think air-cooled bikes are as big a deal as they used to be with, like, overheating and stuff, but at the same time, I just like the idea of a liquid-cooled bike. It's 2021. There's no reason not to have a liquid-cooled bike. I know that's Harley's thing, is the air-cooled push rod, big, beefy, motor. I will say this, though. I was expecting a lot more vibration from the Harley than what was on there. Still vibration. The salesman's like, oh, there's not really a lot of vibration. Bullshit. There is totally vibration, especially downshifting for some reason. And Ryan felt it too on the Street Glide. There is still vibration. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was still much more apparently there than that of the Indians. The Indian, in my opinion, rode better. It was a smoother ride. Some people are saying that the Harley handles better. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm sorry, not that the Harley didn't ride good. It did, but the Indian Challenger rode twice as good as the Harley did. Maneuverability-wise, I think the Indian's a better balanced bike. The Harley is well balanced. The Road Glide was well balanced, but I definitely felt the weight of that bike in slow maneuvers way more so than I did on the Indian Challenger. And Ryan agreed with the Street Glide. He felt the weight of that bike much more apparent than that of the weight of the Chieftain. Like I said, I know I'm going to get roasted on this. I'm actually really pissed because I wish I would have filmed us doing this, but it was very spare of the moment when we went, and I didn't have anything ready to film, and so it's just been bugging me for the last day because I was trying to get my thoughts together because I was really upset. We were truly hoping when we walked out of the Harley dealership that there was going to be a big conflict. Like, man, that was really nice. Like, now I really, really got to think about what I want my next bike to be, because me and my wife have been talking, and there's a good chance within the next year or so we're going to make a purchase of a bike just because we miss riding and we got more friends that are riding now, so we got to make that choice. But it really wasn't that big of a decision. I did not like the Road Glide all that much. Beautiful, rode okay, but if I'm laying down $30,000, it's going to be on the Challenger, not the Harley. That's just my opinion. I think the Challenger rode nicer. Harley sounds great from the factory. Not that the Challenger sounds bad, but Harley sounds like a Harley. Who doesn't love the sound of a Harley? But I was definitely disappointed. The one other thing that I will say for Harley, their dealer network is just awesome, whereas Indian is still very small in the market when it comes to dealer networking. I mean, my God, where I live, there's got to be 5 or 6 Harley dealers, maybe 7 Harley dealers within an hour of my house. You know what I mean? Like, there's tons of Harley dealers over the country, which makes sense. They've been around for so long. They've got a huge dealer network. And Indian is growing, but there's like 5 dealerships in the country and the state right now of Ohio that actually have, that sell Indians. So Harley definitely has the dealer network down where Indian's going to need to work on that. But, yeah, guys, like I said, I just wanted to make kind of this video of my initial, the way I thought about, the way I looked at this, because it really was kind of hard for me to, I'm like, man, I'm gonna piss a bunch of people off, because I know there's gonna be Harley guys like, oh, you're crazy, if you're not riding a Harley, you're not riding a motorcycle. And I'm like, okay, whatever that means, dude. Like, most guys I've met that ride Harleys, they're diehard Harley guys, but they're really good dudes, and they don't care what you ride. They're just gonna give you crap for not riding a Harley as long as you're riding, Then there's the other guys that they truly believe if it's not a Harley Davidson, it's not a motorcycle, and you might as well scrap it. So, like I said, guys, I'm just saying that was my initial impressions of it. Ryan and me were pretty much in sync with each other and how we felt about both the bikes. The cool thing was we went down the street to the Indian dealer after we got done riding the Harleys, and we really did a true back-to-back comparison. So it was fresh in our mind on the experience of it, and we both just like, yeah, dude, this is where it's at. Oh, one last thing I'll give Harley credit for, and this is not by a large margin, but I will say I think that the fit and finish of the Harley bike was maybe 1 or 2% better than that of the Indian. Not that the Indians is bad. It's really not. It's actually really nice. When I've looked at the new ones, the fit and finish has been nice. I know guys have said the fit and finish is not as nice as Harley's, and I can kind of see where they're coming from in certain aspects, because the Harley's, the Road Glide was a very well polished, put together bike up here, without doing a crazy inspection on it, but just every way everything looked and just operated, it just, yeah, okay, yeah, the Harley's got a nice, pretty good fit and finish to it. But like I said, when it comes to the actual rideability of the bike, I think the Challenger just dominated that Road Glide. That's just my opinion. But yeah, like I said, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video. It's not really that quick. It's probably like a 20-minute video. But I wanted to make a video and do it. I've never done a video like this before where I just talk with you guys. But this is how I feel. And like I said, J-Dub's cars and stuff. And this is the stuff. I love bikes. I love boats. Quads. I love everything. With anything with a motor, I'm into it. So, like I said, I haven't really been putting a lot of videos out lately for reasons of work. And I've got a 19-month-old at home. And that's a whole nother thing there. So whenever I do get ideas for videos, though, and I haven't really had to work on my car a whole lot lately, there's still things I got to do, but everybody's been busy and I've been busy, and I just haven't been able to get a video out to you guys. So I wanted to get something out to you. I'm hoping to make some more bike videos. Like I said, Ryan wants to do some more mods to his Vulcan. He's not ready to spend $30,000 on a bike yet right now, so he's gonna have the Vulcan for a little while longer. So we're going to do some more mods of that and everything. I'm getting great response from the bike videos and just all the videos. And I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting me and subscribing and just interacting in the comments. I try to get to everybody in the comments when I can. And I'm just glad these videos have helped people. And like I said, so you guys know it. Leave me a comment down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And seriously, if you think I was wrong, I missed the mark, if you have suggestions or something, I mean, feel free. Leave comments down below. I try to get to all of them, and I love interacting with you guys. You guys are awesome and supportive, and I love you guys. So, anyway, that's my rant there. So, until next video, guys, I'll see you.